We have Charles Barkley, who is a self-proclaimed friend of Bill Belichick, and I think his thoughts on Bill and what's going on are very enlightening.
What is Bill Belichick doing?
Well, this is a very slippery subject for me because Bill's one of my really good friends. I'm not sure what's going on. You know, he's been a great friend for me for a long time. We've been friends since he coached for the Browns. I think he got to be very careful right now. This is starting to be on a very slippery slope. He's the greatest football coach ever for him and Nick Saban, for college Nick Saban, for Bill to NFL. Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's starting to be a very slippery slope. And I never talk about people's personal relationship. That's another rule I got. But I will admit I'm a little concerned with some of the stuff that's going on. And I might actually reach out to him and make sure everything's good. But I am concerned from what I'm hearing. Yeah, it's not a good look right now. I'll admit that.
So Charles Barkley, not sure that everything is good, might reach out. Now, I would question how close a friend he is or they are if he's been in this relationship 4 years and you haven't already discussed
celebrity
it.
friendship.
Yeah,
you know
it's star
It's not the real friendships.
But we have a close friend saying he's worried. We have daughter-in-law questioning the situation and expressing her feelings. We've heard other things that may or may not be true, but we're starting to see even people, North Carolina, his bosses, people in his football circle or professional circle. So it's not just us. It's not just a biased ex-linebacker and a couple jackals on the radio that are talking about Bill Belichick. Everybody is talking about this. Everybody is critical, shocked. You know, it's funny. Stiz asked me a question.
David Portnoy, who's the biggest
homer
ever, is like, what is going on?
Doesn't know how to react to this. And Stiz even said, if you, what was the word used? Aura meter? If your aura meter for Bill Belichick, whatever you thought his aura, reputation, whatever was, how far has it fallen?
Q rating.
Yeah, Q rating. If you were like Stiz and you were all in on Bill Belichick and you thought he was a pure 100, oh my God, the guy's a legend, greatest coach ever, leader of men. Mm-hmm. How far? Where is it? Is it down to 70? Is it down to 50? Or you're like, is it off the board?
It's got to be.
So
it's got to be cut in half. I mean, there used to be. I'm surprised. I mean, I've been critical of this story and the storyline, and suggested that UNC maybe consider moving on from Bill. I haven't got one call saying that's the craziest thing ever. Not one person. Like, if I would have said that 4 years ago, it would, the phone lines would have lit up. But
you wouldn't have, because it would have been crazy for it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But I think even the staunchest Bill supporters are looking at this and questioning it. I don't know, but Stiz was also defending him yesterday. I don't know, but
he's torn. It's a tough time for Stiz.
I think Bill Belichick supporters are having a tough time defending their guy right now.
So Fitzy, the Boston Globe, the headline.
I read this.
Yeah, I thought I was going to end up reading, I just saw the headline. Bill Belichick famously controlled the narrative. Now, thanks to the girlfriend drama, he's its prisoner. And I didn't know what I was going to get when I clicked on this.
It's great.
So I'm going to read you a quick little paragraph here from Beth Teitel is how I'm pronouncing it. Teitell.
You got it. You spelled it out.
Title.
It's all good.
Here's a paragraph. It's like her fourth paragraph. The man famous for controlling the narrative has instead become its prisoner. Belichick was the boss who called the shots from the sidelines, telling men young enough to be his grandsons what to do. Now he's the one obeying orders from the sidelines, called by a woman young enough to be his granddaughter, except that she's his date. Belichick is gone from the Patriots, but even if you want to avoid this overtime show, you can't. I think she nailed it, with those, whatever that 5 sentences, Fitzy. She nailed the hell out of this. She really brought that together. It's probably why she's a writer for the Boston Globe. It's good career choice.
She's not an intern that was promoted out of desperation.
She called the interview disturbing. She actually referenced your point. So disturbing that even Dave Portnoy had to do a reactionary thing on it.
How about this one, Andy? Later on, almost towards the end of the article, she writes, the New York Post headline was, alarmed by CBS disaster, Bill Belichick insiders say girlfriend Jordan Hudson is a, quote, runaway train. And then Beth added, you know that a storyline has left the Earth's gravitational pull when a New York Post article attracts 1.6 thousand comments The most popular of which, by the way, that had more than 658, quote, likes and counting, was written by a self-described former Adult Protective Services investigator / caseworker. And that guy, and Ted, that guy said, I assume guy, sorry. I've handled countless numbers of financial exploitation cases involving mostly older men who fall prey to much younger women who capitalize on the loneliness and vulnerability of these men. Andy, do you think it's really gone this far?
I bet you there's some truth to that. I bet you there are some truth to that. I do.
I do too.
I do.
Now, it feels weird because you say loneliness. Like you think of lonely as like this guy doesn't, he lives in a condo somewhere. His wife passed away 10 years ago. He doesn't have friends. He can't physically golf anymore, whatever. Like this is Bill Belichick. He's bouncing around the world.
He's got a lot of associates. Does he have real friends? Does he have real connection? Like I mean, I think there was a time there. I mean, I heard some story like where he was basically just finding after games he didn't know what to do, so he was like, I don't know, spending. He was offering his time up with people that I don't think he ever would have normally offered time up with because he wasn't with Linda and he wasn't with Jordan yet. So there was this kind of middle period where I think there's some truth to that, man. I think I don't know if he's all that close with his kids. His kids, you hear a lot of stories about him with his kids. I think there is some truth to what she is saying, is my point.
And the illusion, I don't know if they actually say it in the New York Post story about the $8 million amassed real estate empire that Jordan, but like clearly she gets with Bill or is aligned with Bill or whatever you want to call it, and then suddenly is getting these big deals. Like she's not buying $10,000 homes in Detroit, fixer-uppers. Millions of
speculating on slums and then trying to like revitalize them. Like she's legitimately, it seems, just for my $2 assessment here, it seems like she is amassing an income portfolio of real estate.
Yeah. Well, she's going to make out just fine in this. Because apparently her name's on these documents, and she's
but wait, how TF are her names on these? Are these gifts from Sugar Daddy Bell?
What I'm trying to figure out is, I feel like for something like that, you have to co-sign. Don't I feel like Bill? But if Bill co-signed, it would be in there. That's public
but
knowledge.
It's a corporation, and I don't know enough about these layers of business, and it's a shell corporation that's off the coast.
Who at 24 years old has all these things? She has all these titles and businesses, supposedly, and real estate, portfolios. Like she sees herself as like this
Vanderbilt, Trump.
I mean,
Gates.
she saw an opportunity and she is seizing on it.
And I don't want to be crass and judge but it feels like this is a Ponzi scheme or just a con, and there's just a lot of things that don't make. There's no foundation.
But a Ponzi scheme, it's one sided. I think Bill's getting something out of it. You feel sorry for Bill, but you don't think Bill's getting something out of it?